From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good afternoon. For 4 News Now, I'm Rob King. Coming up tonight on 4 News Now at 6, Robyn Nance has a special report in which she's looking at a local nonprofit, Maddie's Place, and the work they're doing there to help children born with drug addiction. So to explain it and talk a little bit more about it, here is Robyn. Robyn, just going off of what I've seen so far in our teasers and stuff, it sounds incredibly heartbreaking.
It's a little bit of heartbreaking, but it's also really encouraging. So Maddie's Place is in the old Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery building. So some people might know where that is, 8th and, it's in the Perry District. They have taken over that building and are doing incredible things there. They've only been open since, I believe, October of 2022. And since then have helped dozens and dozens, I believe 64 babies. And what they do is, if a child is born with drug affected, I guess they're withdrawing from drugs. So mom was using while pregnant, baby is born with a drug affectedness, and they are born, so they're at the hospital. Once they're released from the hospital, what do? Where do they go? Because before Maddie's Place opened, there really wasn't anything that specialized in helping these babies with their withdrawal and with the moms. So Maddie's Place is doing something that's actually really groundbreaking. It's the only facility like it in the entire West Coast. There's only 4 like it in the entire country. So what they're doing is amazing. So Trisha Hughes is the person who started this. She was a nursing student and was, helping these babies in the hospital, and then started, then she would care for them in her home, became a foster parent, and even adopted a little girl named Maddie, who now this place is named after, Maddie's Place. And what she's doing is, it sounds so simple in a way. It's all about different modes of caring for that child. So they're going through just all kinds of traumatic things in their body. It's reacting. It's wanting that drug that it's been having in utero. And what they do is, they have specialists who are trained to deal with babies who are going through this. They come in there and they just comfort the child. They help them bond, because a lot of times babies who are in this kind of condition don't bond with adults, or can't form bonds. So this is really helping that. And they do different kinds of techniques in comforting. It's swaddling, it's a lot of carrying, a lot of holding, special ways of soothing the babies. And then they a lot of them have trouble feeding, so some are on feeding tubes, take special kinds of milk and formula. So they have special techniques that they do. They're specially trained, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing facility. I was so excited to be able to do this story.
Well, it sounds like something that there would be a need. I mean, we've been talking about an opioid crisis in this country for the last 5-10 years, and this seems like something that, unfortunately, you would like to be more common, this sort of treatment. It's shocking to hear that we're the only one on the West Coast here in Spokane that's doing this. Yeah, and
I think the special report also focuses on this special study. WSU is being funded. It's a state-funded, state-granted fund, and they are going to study what's going on at Maddie's Place. They're going to do like a 6-week study, I believe they said, and they're going to compile all kinds of information. So it's not like they're going in with a thesis and they're trying to prove something. They're going in, they're collecting all the data. Because right now, the last data I was told is that we don't have good data about babies who are born withdrawing. The state, or rather the county, I'm looking here, the county says out of the 6,000 live births that have occurred in the last year, only 36 babies were drug affected. There's no way that number is correct. And even that's what the CEO at Maddie's Place, Sean Cross, told me. He said there's absolutely no way that's accurate. So this study hopes to find out how many babies are born withdrawing from drugs, And then from there, they are going to try to find all kinds of other things. They're really going to talk to a lot of the moms and talk about their drug addiction, their own withdrawals, if they are willing to participate. And that's one of the cool things about this particular story I'm doing. There's a mom, her name is Mary, and she gave birth to Zachariah 4 months ago. And she, once she found out she was pregnant, she wanted off drugs. And she'd been addicted for 7 years. And so she's actually from Moses Lake. And she went to a facility in Seattle to withdraw and to get help getting off of these drugs so that she could be a mom. And when she was there, one of the ways that, addicts often withdraw is to go on methadone, which helps to get them off of their opioids. Well, what that does, that's also a narcotic. So what that did then, as she was taking this methadone, that went into little Zachariah's system when he was in utero. He was born with that affectedness. So he was in Sacred Heart, had all kinds of complications, ended up being released. They said, he's good to go. Once he was released there, they told Mary about, hey, there isn't a facility that can help you and can help him. And so that was Maddie's Place. So they released him to Maddie's Place. Maddie's Place also has room for moms who are withdrawing as well. They can be there at the facility. They can get the support they need. They can bond with their baby. They can learn parenting skills. And Maddie's Place is all about, it's focused on the baby, but it's also focused on the mom and how they can help mom get clean, be a good parent, and move forward. You'll notice in my story, actually, Mary doesn't have any teeth. And when I was interviewing her, she's like, I'm really embarrassed about this, but I want to tell the story. Also, tomorrow, Maddie's Place has connected me with resources on getting a new set of teeth.
Oh my
so
gosh.
there's like all these kinds of amazing things. That and Mary also said, if I didn't have Maddie's Place, Zachariah and I would be on the streets. Maddie's Place is helping them get housing. So, it's really a beautiful thing that's happening. They're, focused on the babies and taking care of the babies, but they're focused on the family as a whole. So it's really, really an important thing going on right in our neighborhoods.
And if you've not seen the teaser, it might be the cutest baby I've ever seen, Zachariah.
He's
my God.
really precious. He is really, really precious. And he's come a long way. He's done, as Mary was telling me, he's done all kinds of therapies. They've done occupational therapy with him and physical therapy, and they're, and they're working. And she's like, he's already graduated from some therapies. So she really wants to be a good mom. And I think if she didn't have the support of Maddie's Place, that would be so, so difficult. And they're really trying to set these moms up for success.
Do they know anything about some of the long-term issues of these impacts for babies that are born like this?
I think that is going to be something that we're going to have to find out later. It's an amazing, pertinent question, because that's what I asked too. I said, so will this equate later, less mental health issues? A lot of these babies who are drug affected have learning issues, cognitive issues, mental health, behavioral issues. What do we know about what we do here and how that will affect them down the road when they're in school? And they said there's really no way to know quite yet, but it can do nothing but positive things. So taking care of the babies here now, it's got to have an effect down the road. And I think that's something that will be studied also. And I would be really curious to see the kind of positive impacts. I got to believe it's only positive. I was a foster
being
mom
off
before.
the street, having stable housing, staying with your parent. Those are all.
And the support for the mom, truly. And these moms, I was learning this just talking to more and more people who are working and, a part of the organization of Maddie's Place. And they're saying, these moms are treated really, it's very derogatory when they go to get help. So even if they simply go to get help to get off drugs, sometimes they are not treated with respect and dignity, that they're, kind of treated as lowlifes or, whatever. But that's the stigma they're trying to get rid of, and that these are women who are doing their best, trying to get clean, trying to make good decisions, trying to move forward, and keeping them on this right path. This is really going to help them in so many ways.
Awesome. Robyn, I want to thank you for taking a little time to join me.
Thanks.
I'm really looking forward to the special report. Again, that airs tonight in 4 News Now at 6. You'll be able to watch it there. And Robyn, just before I let you go, was there anything that you want to add that maybe you had to cut for time that you found really interesting in this process?
Oh, that always happens because we're only given so much time. And I will be honest, my bosses are really great when it comes to my special reports because they give me a little more time than normal. And I think some of the things that I kind of couldn't get into, well, one of the things that I do get into that's really important is that this WSU study could have global impacts, not just here in Spokane. Like, what it could do is they're hoping to use it for testifying before Congress. They think that what could happen here with this study, the things that we're learning, could help Medicaid pay for the work that they're doing. Because right now, private insurances are not covering what's going on at Maddie's place. If they could get more funding from the federal government, they could help more moms, and on and on and on. And so that's one of the really important pieces of this. Things that I had to cut for time, really hearing more from Mary. I wish I would have had tons of more time to hear from her, just about her journey. And she loves Maddie's place. She cannot sing their praises enough. And it's because somebody finally believes in her. And yeah, it's really touching.
Awesome. Robyn, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Rob.
Talk to you later.
Thanks.
And like I said, you can watch Robyn's special report airing tonight in 4 News Now at 6. It'll be up on our website following its completion, up on YouTube and KXLY Plus, where you can watch all of our videos. If you missed some of this interview where Robyn gets to go a little bit more in depth, you can watch that on KXLY Plus as well. That is our free 24/7 streaming app. And coming up, we have a show at 4 News Now at 5. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now.